The gun felt heavy in Emmett's shaking hand. He sat alone in his dark garage, tears running down his face. The cold metal touched his skin. His finger moved toward the trigger. Then he heard loud motorcycle engines roaring outside his house. Vroom, vroom, vroom. The sound was so loud it shook his walls. Emmett stopped. He looked up. Who was making all that noise? Before we continue, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment below where you are watching from. Now, let's get back to Emmett's story. Emmett Davis was 52 years old. His heart felt heavy with sadness every day. He had gray hair and tired blue eyes that looked like they cried too much. His face had many lines from years of being so very sad inside. He was tall but walked with his shoulders down, like he was carrying big heavy rocks on his back that made him bend and hurt. Emmett lived in a small town in Montana. His house was white with a red door, but now the paint was old and broken, peeling like tears on cheeks. The grass was too long and wild, waving lonely in the wind. The mailbox was falling down, leaning like it wanted to cry. Everything looked sad, just like Emmett, with a big ache in his soul. 6 months ago, something very bad happened to Emmett. His beautiful wife Sarah and his sweet daughter Lily died in a car crash. A drunk driver hit their car on a rainy night, crashing loud and scary. Sarah was 48 years old, with a warm smile that lit up rooms. Lily was only 16, full of giggles and dreams. They were coming home from Lily's school play, excited and happy. Emmett was supposed to go with them, but he had to work late that day. He never forgave himself for not being there, his heart breaking with what-if pain, over and over. After they died, Emmett stopped living. His chest felt empty and cold. He stopped talking to friends, pushing them away with silent tears. He stopped going to church, where prayers once felt like hugs. He stopped smiling, his lips heavy with grief. He stopped eating good food, his tummy hurting from missing their voices. Every day felt the same: wake up with a sob, cry with shaking shoulders, look at old photos that made his eyes burn, cry more with hot tears soaking his shirt, go to sleep with a heavy heart, have bad dreams that scared him awake, wake up and do it all again, feeling lost and alone. Emmett was a veteran. He fought in a war many years ago. He was brave, his hands steady in danger. He saved his friends in battle, hugging them safe amid loud booms. He got medals for being a hero, shiny and proud. But now, he could not save himself from the sadness eating his heart, gnawing like a monster inside, making him whisper, "Why?" in the dark. The house was full of memories that hugged and hurt. Sarah's coffee cup still sat on the kitchen table, cold and waiting for her warm hands. Lily's backpack still hung by the door, zippers open like a smile frozen in time. Her homework was still on her desk, pencil marks full of her careful love. Emmett could not touch these things, his fingers trembling with fear. He could not throw them away, his heart yelling no. But seeing them every day hurt so much, like knives in his chest, twisting with love and loss. His friends tried to help, their voices soft with worry. They called him, phones ringing like hopeful hearts. They knocked on his door, thump thump with caring fists. They brought him food, warm and smelling like home. But Emmett sent them all away, closing the door with a sad slam. He wanted to be alone with his pain, curling up in it like a blanket of thorns. He thought he deserved to suffer, guilt squeezing his throat. He thought it was his fault that Sarah and Lily died, blame echoing in his mind like thunder. "If only I had gone with them that night," he said to himself every day, voice cracking with regret. "If only I had driven them home, safe in my arms. If only I had said no to working late, choosing them instead. Then they would still be alive." His words choking on sobs, face wet with endless tears. Every night, Emmett drank whiskey to stop the pain, bottle shaking in his grip. But it never worked. The hurt roaring back fiercer. The pain always came back stronger, clawing at his soul. Some nights, he would scream into his pillow, muffled cries shaking his whole body. Other nights, he would just sit in the dark and stare at nothing, eyes empty, heart pounding with despair. He stopped going to his job at the hardware store. His boss was kind and told him to take time off, voice gentle like a hug. But weeks turned into months, days blurring in fog. Emmett knew he could not go back. Legs too weak. He could not pretend to be okay. Smile fake and cracking. He could not smile at customers and talk about hammers and nails when his whole world had ended, shattered like glass under his feet. The worst part was going to sleep, bed cold without their warmth. In his dreams, he saw Sarah and Lily alive and happy, their eyes sparkling with joy. They would laugh and hug him, arms tight and loving. Then he would wake up and remember they were gone, reality slapping hard. Every morning felt like losing them all over again, fresh grief ripping his heart. It was torture, endless and cruel. Emmett had one friend who never gave up on him, a man named Frank. Frank was 60 years old and lived next door. He was short and round with a big gray beard that hid his kind smiles. Frank had known Emmett for 20 years, sharing laughs and stories. He knew about the pain of losing someone because his own son had died in the same war where Emmett fought, a wound that still bled in his eyes. Frank came to check on Emmett every few days, steps slow with hope. He would bring soup or bread, steaming with care. Sometimes Emmett would open the door, eyes red and puffy. Sometimes he would not, hiding in shadows. But Frank kept coming, heart full of stubborn love. He never stopped caring, whispering prayers for his friend. "You can't give up, Emmett," Frank would say through the closed door, voice thick with emotion. "Sarah and Lily would not want this for you, their love shining down. They loved you so much, with all their hearts. They would want you to live," words trembling with his own tears. But Emmett did not listen, ears closed by sorrow. The pain was too big, swallowing him whole. The hole in his heart was too deep, dark, and echoing. Nothing could fill it. No light could reach. Nothing could fix it, he believed with a shudder. Or so he thought. Doubt, flickering faintly. On that terrible night in the garage, Emmett had made his decision, despair winning the fight. He could not live with the pain anymore. It crushed his breath. He wrote letters to Frank and to Sarah's sister Mary, pen shaking on paper. He said he was sorry, words blurry with tears. He said he loved them, heart pouring out. He said he just wanted to be with Sarah and Lily again, longing like a fire. He walked to the garage, steps heavy, like chains. He sat in an old chair, creaking under his weight. He took out the gun he had kept from his military days, cold metal, in warm hands. His hands shook with fear and finality. His heart beat fast, thumping wild. Tears poured down his face like rain, soaking his shirt. "I'm so sorry," he whispered, voice breaking into sobs. "I'm so sorry I couldn't protect you, my loves. I'm so sorry I wasn't there, holding you safe. I miss you so much, it's killing me." Grief choking him, body rocking. He raised the gun, fingers trembling. He closed his eyes, seeing their faces. He thought of Sarah's beautiful smile, warm like sunshine. He thought of Lily's laugh that sounded like music, tinkling and joyful. He took a deep breath, chest heaving. Then V-room, V-room. The sound of motorcycle engines exploded outside, roaring like angry lions. It was so loud that Emmett jumped, heart leaping in shock. The gun fell from his hand onto the floor, clattering loud. His eyes opened wide, blinking in surprise. What was happening? Confusion swirled with a tiny spark. He heard voices, deep and lively. Men were talking and laughing outside. Sounds of life breaking the night. More engines roared, growling fierce. It sounded like 10 or 20 motorcycles, thundering together, maybe more. The noise filled the quiet street, shaking the air with energy. Emmett stood up, knees wobbling. His legs felt weak, like jelly. He walked to the garage door and opened it just a little bit, peeking with cautious eyes. He peeked outside, breath held. In front of his house, there were 15 big motorcycles. They were shiny and black and chrome, gleaming under stars. They looked powerful and beautiful, strong like guardians. On the bikes sat men wearing leather jackets, tough but inviting. They had beards and tattoos, stories on their skin. They looked tough but not mean, eyes kind beneath the rough. One man got off his bike and walked toward Emmett's garage, strides confident. He was big and tall, with long gray hair tied in a ponytail, swaying gently. His leather jacket had patches all over it, badges of battles. His face was kind even though he looked rough, smile soft and real. "Emmett Davis?" the man called out, voice warm like a fire. Emmett froze, body stiff with wonder. How did this man know his name? Heart raced. "I'm Emmett," he said quietly, opening the garage door a bit more, voice small and shaky. The big man smiled, eyes crinkling with hope. "My name is Cole. Frank sent us," he said gently. "Frank?" Emmett's voice shook, surprise bubbling. "Yeah, your neighbor Frank. He's worried about you, heart aching for his friend. He called us. He knows what you're planning to do, and we're here to stop you." Words firm, but full of care. Emmett felt his face get hot, cheeks burning with shame. He felt embarrassed, eyes dropping. How did Frank know? Had Frank been watching him, peeking with love? But Frank was not there. It was just these strangers on motorcycles, lights glowing. "I don't need help," Emmett said, voice cracking. "Please leave me alone." Plea weak, with hidden want. Cole walked closer, boots thudding heavy on the driveway. His boots made heavy sounds, steady, like a heartbeat. He looked Emmett in the eyes, gaze locking deep. His eyes were brown and warm like coffee, inviting trust. "I lost my wife 3 years ago," Cole said, voice low with old pain. "Cancer. It ate her up from the inside, slow and cruel. I watched her die slowly over 2 years, holding her hand as she faded. When she finally went, I wanted to die too, emptiness swallowing me. I stood on a bridge one night, ready to jump, wind whipping tears." Emmett stared at him, eyes wide with shared hurt. He did not know what to say, throat tight. "But my brother's here," Cole pointed to the men on the motorcycles, arms strong. "They saved me. They took me on a ride, a long ride, engine singing, across the whole country. And somewhere on those roads, between the mountains and the deserts and the rivers, I found a reason to keep breathing, voice lifting with memory's light." "That won't work for me," Emmett said, voice almost a whisper, doubt heavy. "My pain is too big." Tears welling again. "That's what I said too," Cole replied, nodding with understanding. "But you know what? The road doesn't care how big your pain is. The road just keeps going. Steady and true. Mile after mile, town after town, sunrise after sunrise, painting hope. And if you keep riding, something changes inside you, warm and slow. I can't explain it. You just have to trust me." Eyes pleading softly. Another man got off his bike and walked over, steps light. He was shorter than Cole, with red hair and green eyes sparkling. He wore a leather vest with no shirt under it, skin inked with life. His arms were covered in tattoos, colors telling tales. "I'm Hank," he said, holding out his hand, smile open. Emmett slowly shook it. grip tentative but warming. "I tried to end it all 5 years ago," Hank said, voice steady, but eyes misty. "I lost my daughter to drugs. She was only 19. My little light gone dark. I blame myself every day. Guilt like chains. These guys saved my life too. The brotherhood, tight like family. The road, free and healing. It's real. It works. Hand squeeze full of brotherhood. One by one, more men came and introduced themselves, voices blending in care. There was Raymond, who lost his brother in a fire, flames haunting his dreams. There was Deacon, who lost his whole family in a tornado, winds stealing everything. There was Pete, who came back from war and could not stop the bad dreams, nights full of shadows. There was Luis, whose wife left him and took his kids and he almost gave up. Loneliness, crushing. Every single one of them had a story of terrible loss, shared with trembling lips. Every single one of them had wanted to die, eyes darkening with recall. And every single one of them said the same thing: the road saved them. Wind-washing pain. The brotherhood saved them. Arms around shoulders. The ride saved them. Hearts beating as one. "We leave tomorrow morning," Cole said, voice excited with promise. 6 a.m. We're riding from here in Montana all the way to the ocean in California. Waves crashing welcome. Then down to Texas. Wide skies calling. Then back up through the middle of the country. 5 weeks, 10,000 miles.
"We want you to come with us. Invitation like a lifeline."
"I can't," Emmett said, shaking his head, fear gripping. "I don't even have a motorcycle," voice small. "We brought you one," Cole said with a big smile, eyes twinkling. Another man rode up on a beautiful black motorcycle, engine humming sweet. It was big and strong and gleaming in the light from the street lamps, shining like new hope. The engine purred like a happy cat, friendly and alive. "This is yours for the trip," the man said, grin wide. His name was Marcus, and he owned a motorcycle shop. Frank paid for it. He said you saved his son's life in the war, brave and true. He said he owes you everything, gratitude deep. He said if we can save your life now, he'll die a happy man. Words full of respect. Emmett felt tears come to his eyes again, streaming warm. But these tears were different. Salty with wonder. These were not tears of sadness, cold and bitter. These were tears of being surprised by kindness, heart fluttering, tears of not being able to believe what was happening, joy peeking through. "I don't know how to ride anymore," Emmett said, voice wobbly. "It's been 30 years, memory faint." "It's like riding a bike," Hank said with a laugh, light and freeing. "Your body remembers, muscles waking up. We'll teach you. We'll ride slow at first, patient and kind. You'll remember fast. Trust us." Chuckle warm. Cole put his big hand on Emmett's shoulder, grip firm and brotherly. "Listen, brother. I know you want the pain to stop," ache screaming loud. "I get it. That gun in there seems like the answer, quick and dark. It seems like the only way out, but it's not. There's another way, bright and open. Come with us. Give us 5 weeks. If after 5 weeks you still want to end it, then that's your choice. But give the road a chance first. Give us a chance. Give yourself a chance." Plea earnest, eyes shiny. Emmett looked at all these men, faces blurred by tears. These strangers who came to save him, hearts open wide. These rough, tough men with kind hearts and tears in their own eyes, glistening. These men who understood his pain because they had felt it too, scars matching. Something small stirred inside Emmett's chest, fluttering like a bird. It was tiny, fragile. It was weak, but growing. But it was there, aglow. It felt like the smallest spark of hope, warming cold. Or maybe just curiosity, wondering what if. What would happen if he said yes? What would happen if he tried? Heart whispered maybe. He looked back at the garage, shadows looming. The gun was still on the floor, cold and waiting. The letters were still on the chair, words of goodbye. His old life was still there, waiting for him to end it, pulling like gravity. Then he looked at the motorcycle. Black and beautiful and powerful, humming invite. Waiting for him to start something new, engine eager. "Okay," Emmett heard himself say, voice surprised at its strength. "I'll go," decision blooming. The men cheered, voices rising in joy. Some hugged him, arms tight and real. Some patted his back, thumps of welcome. Cole smiled the biggest smile Emmett had ever seen, face glowing. "You won't regret this, brother," Cole said, voice booming happy. "The road is calling. And trust me, the road always knows what you need. Promise in every word." That night, Emmett did not sleep much, eyes wide in the dark. He packed a small bag with clothes, hands careful. He looked at pictures of Sarah and Lily, frames, dusty, with love. He cried again, tears soft now. But this time, he also talked to them, voice gentle. "I don't know what I'm doing," he said to their photos, smiling faces staring back. "I don't know if this will help. But these men came for me. They saved me tonight, pulling me from the edge. Maybe you sent them, angels on wheels. Maybe this is what you want me to do. I'm scared, tummy twisting. I miss you so much. Ache, never gone. But I'm going to try. I'm going to try to live." Whisper, full of love. At 5:30 in the morning, Emmett walked outside, steps lighter. The sun was just starting to wake up, yawning light. The sky was pink and orange and purple, colors dancing happy. All the motorcycles were there, parked in front of his house, ready and waiting. The men were drinking coffee from thermoses and eating donuts, smells sweet and warm. "Morning, brother," Cole called out. "Wave big. Ready for the adventure of your life?" Excitement bubbling. Emmett was not sure if he was ready. Doubt nibbling. But he nodded anyway. Smile trying. Cole spent 30 minutes showing Emmett how to ride the motorcycle again, patient like a teacher, how to use the clutch smooth and easy, how to shift gears click click, how to brake gentle stop, how to turn lean with wind. At first, Emmett was shaky, balance wobbling. He almost fell twice, heart jumping. But slowly, his body remembered, muscles smiling. His hands remembered, gripping sure. His feet remembered, steady now. It was like Cole said, like riding a bike, fun and free. "You got it," Hank yelled, cheer loud. "You're a natural," pride shining. At 6 a.m. exactly, 15 motorcycles roared to life, engines singing together. The sound was like thunder, powerful and alive. It was the sound of power, rumbling deep. The sound of freedom, wings spreading. The sound of moving forward, hope ahead. Cole rode in front. He raised his hand and pointed forward, toward the sunrise. Light golden. "Let's ride!" he yelled, voice triumphant. And they rode, pack united. Emmett followed behind the group, wind kissing. The wind hit his face, cool and fresh. His heart pounded. Thump, thump. Fear and excitement mixed together in his chest, swirling wild. The motorcycle vibrated under him, buzzing with life. It felt alive. It felt strong, carrying him. They rode out of town, past the houses, windows waking, past the stores, signs sleepy, past the church, bells silent, past the cemetery where Sarah and Lily were buried, stones quiet. Emmett looked at the cemetery as they passed, eyes soft. He felt a tear run down his cheek, warm trail. But he did not stop. He kept riding, forward with love. The road opened up before them, long and gray and endless, stretching like a promise. Mountains rose up in the distance, tall and watching. The sky was huge and blue, endless hug. The world felt big again, full of maybe. For the first time in 6 months, Emmett was not sitting alone in his dark house, trapped in gloom. He was moving, wind in hair. He was going somewhere, path unknown. He was alive, breath deep. He did not know where this road would take him. He did not know if it would heal his broken heart, pieces mending slow. He did not know if he would ever feel happy again, joy, a distant star. But for now, in this moment, with the wind in his face and brothers around him, and the road stretching forever ahead, Emmett just rode, heart open a crack. And for the first time since the accident, he did not want to die, a quiet yes blooming inside. The first day of riding was hard for Emmett. His body hurt so bad, like big ouch everywhere. His bottom hurt from sitting on the motorcycle seat, sore and bumpy. His arms hurt from holding the handles tight, muscles yelling stop. His back hurt from sitting up straight, aching like a big pole. He was not used to it, body stiff and weak. He was out of shape from months of sitting at home doing nothing, lazy and sad inside. But he did not complain, lips shut with grit. He just kept riding. Wind pushing him on. They rode for 6 hours that first day, long and tiring. Through Montana's mountains, tall and watching with snowy tops. Past rivers that sparkled in the sun, twinkling like happy eyes. Past forests of tall green trees, whispering soft secrets. Past little towns with funny names like Chicken and Prey and Two Dot. Signs making tiny smiles. When they stopped for lunch at a small diner, Emmett could barely walk, legs wobbly like jelly. He was so stiff and sore, every step a poke of pain. The men laughed, but not in a mean way, giggles warm and knowing. They laughed because they remembered their first long rides too, bodies crying just like his. "It gets better," Deacon told him, voice kind and sure, handing him some pills for the pain, small helpers in his palm. "In 3 days, your body will get used to it, muscles waking happy. Then, you'll feel like you were born on a bike. Smile big, with promise." They ate big burgers and drank cold soda, yummy and fizzy. The men talked and joked with each other, voices loud with joy. They had known each other for years, bonds tight like rope. Some had been riding together for 10 years, adventures shared. Some for 20, memories glowing. They were not just friends, they were family, hearts connected deep. Emmett sat quietly and listened, ears open wide. He was not ready to talk much yet, words stuck in throat. The sadness was still too heavy in his chest, weighing like stones. But he liked hearing their voices, deep and lively. He liked their laughter, bubbling like music. It felt warm and safe, like a big hug. After lunch, they rode for 4 more hours, sun dipping low. By the time they stopped at a motel for the night, Emmett was exhausted, body drooping tired. Every part of his body screamed in pain, ouch, ouch, ouch. But there was something else too, a new feeling sneaking in, something he had not felt in a long time, warm inside. He felt tired, in a good way, earned and full, like he had done something, proud, little spark, like he had accomplished something, heart thumping, yes. That night, the men sat outside their motel rooms, in plastic chairs, creaking soft. They drank beer and told stories, bottles clinking happy. Cole told a funny story about the time he rode through a storm and got struck by lightning. He was lying, but it was a good story. Eyes twinkling mischief. Hank told a story about meeting his wife at a motorcycle rally 30 years ago. Voice soft with love memory. Raymond looked at Emmett, eyes gentle. "What about you, brother? Tell us about your family, about Sarah and Lily. If you want to, invite open and caring. Emmett's throat got tight, lump big and hurting. He had not said their names out loud to anyone in months, voices silent in grief. But something about sitting there with these men, under the stars twinkling like diamonds, with the smell of motorcycle oil in the air, it felt okay, safe, cozy. It felt safe, hearts trusting. Sarah was the most beautiful woman I ever saw. Emmett began, voice shaky like leaves. I met her when I was 25. She was 21. She worked at a library. Books all around. I went there one day to check out a book about fixing cars. Hands nervous. She helped me find it, fingers brushing. She had the kindest smile, warm like sun. I asked her out right there. I was so nervous, I almost threw up. Cheeks hot, with old shy. The men laughed softly, chuckles kind. They listened, ears all his. We got married a year later, Emmett continued, eyes misty. Best day of my life, heart exploding happy. She wore a simple white dress. Nothing fancy, but she looked like an angel, glowing pure. We had Lily 5 years after that. Lily was our miracle, gift from sky. Sarah had trouble getting pregnant, tries sad and long. We tried for so long, hopes up and down. When Lily finally came, we cried for days, happy tears, soaking smiles. Emmett paused, breath catch. A tear rolled down his face, warm trail, but he kept talking, words flowing now. Lily was special, light in my world. She loved singing, notes sweet. She had a voice like honey, sticky, warm. She wanted to be a music teacher, dreams big. She was so smart, brain sparkling, so kind, helping hands. She was always helping people, heart open, always smiling, face sunshine. Sarah and Lily were my whole world. They were everything. The men were quiet, air still. Some of them had tears in their eyes too, glistening soft. The night they died, Emmett's voice broke, sob escaping. I was supposed to be with them. I was supposed to drive them, safe in car. But my stupid boss asked me to work late. I said yes. I chose work over them, and they died. A drunk driver hit them head on, crash loud, scary. They died instantly. They didn't suffer, but I do. Every day. I suffer because I wasn't there. Because I chose work, guilt choking tight. Cole leaned forward in his chair, eyes intense. Listen to me, Emmett. It was not your fault, no. You did not choose work over them. You were being responsible, good dad, husband. You were taking care of your family, providing love. That drunk driver killed them, not you. You can't blame yourself. Words firm hug. But if I had been there, Emmett started, voice plead. Then maybe all three of you would be dead, Hank interrupted, voice sharp care. Or maybe the drunk driver would have hit you at a different time. Or maybe something else would have happened. You can't think like that. You can't live in the what-ifs. It will kill you, warning warm. Pete, the quiet veteran with sad brown eyes, spoke up, voice low. I lost 4 of my best friends in the war. Booms taking them. I was the only one who survived from my unit. Alone, heavy. For years I asked myself, why me? Why did I live when they died? I felt guilty every day. Heart crush. I wanted to die to be with them. Dark pull. But then I realized something. Maybe I lived for a reason. Purpose shine. Maybe I have a purpose. Maybe my job now is to honor them by living a good life, by being happy, by helping others. Wisdom, soft. That's what Sarah and Lily would want, Cole added. Nod sure. They would want you to live, to be happy, to remember them with joy, not just pain, smiles, mixed tears. They loved you, Emmett. Love doesn't want suffering. Love wants peace. Gentle truth. Emmett cried harder than he had in months, sobs shaking big. But this time, the men did not look away. Eyes stay. They let him cry, tears free. Some of them cried with him, shared wet. Luis got up and hugged him tight, arms strong. Then Deacon hugged him, squeeze care. Then Raymond, pat back. One by one, all the men hugged Emmett, circle love. They held him while he sobbed, strength shared. They gave him their strength, warm flow. When the tears finally stopped, sniffles quiet, Emmett felt something strange. New tingle. He felt lighter, burden lift. Not happy, not okay, but lighter, breathe easier. Like someone had lifted a tiny bit of the heavy rocks off his shoulders. Oof, gone. Thank you, he whispered, voice great. Thank you for letting me talk about them. Heart open crack. You can talk about them any time, brother, Cole said, smile big. We want to know about them. They're part of your story. And now, they're part of our story too. Family grow. That night, Emmett slept better than he had in months. Bed cozy. He still dreamed of Sarah and Lily. Faces clear. But in the dream, they were smiling. Teeth bright. They were telling him it was okay, voices soft. They were telling him to keep writing, wind call. The days turned into a week. Sunrises count. Then 2 weeks. Miles add. Then 3. Journey deep. They rode through Montana into Idaho. Paths twist. Then into Oregon, green welcome. They saw mountains so tall they touched the clouds, fluffy white. They saw rivers so clear you could see every rock on the bottom, shiny pebbles. They saw forests so thick and green they looked like something from a fairy tale, magic whisper. Every day, Emmett felt a little bit stronger, power grow. His body got used to the riding, comfy now. He did not hurt anymore, ouch fade. His arms got stronger, grip sure. His back got straighter, tall, proud. He even started to gain back the weight he had lost from not eating, tummy full. But more than his body, his heart was changing too, beat shift. The men taught him that healing is not a straight line, wobbly path. Some days, Emmett felt almost okay. Light peak. He would laugh at a joke, haha real. He would enjoy the view, eyes wide wonder. He would feel the sun on his face and think, this is nice, warm, glow. Other days, the pain came crashing back like a wave, splash hard. He would see a mother and daughter walking together in a town they passed. Hands hold, and he would break down crying. Tears flood. The men would stop, engines quiet. They would sit with him, shoulders touch. They would let him feel what he needed to feel, no rush. They never rushed him. They never told him to get over it, patience big. In Oregon, they stopped at the ocean, waves, hello. Emmett had never seen the Pacific Ocean before, vast, blue. It was huge, bigger than anything he could imagine, endless stretch. The water went on forever, meeting the sky at the horizon, kiss far. Cole walked with Emmett down to the beach, steps, sand. The sand was soft and white, squish toes. The waves crashed, loud and powerful, roar crash. You know what I learned about grief? Cole said. Watching the waves, eyes reflect. It's like this ocean. It comes in waves. Some waves are small, gentle, lap. Some are huge, knock breath. Sometimes you can stand, feet firm. Sometimes they knock you down, tumble wet. But the waves always go back out, and then the water is calm for a while. Peace, hush. Until the next wave comes, truth splash. Does it ever stop? Emmett asked, voice hope. Do the waves ever stop coming? Wondersoft. No, Cole said honestly. Not real. The waves never stop. But you get better at swimming. Stroke strong. You get stronger. You learn when a big wave is coming. Feel build. You learn how to float. Bob easy. You learn how to breathe between the waves. Air sweet. And one day, you realize you're not drowning anymore. You're just swimming. Smile. Encourage. Emmett thought about that. Mind swirl. It made sense. He could feel it was true, heart nod. The pain would always be there. Echo love. He would always miss Sarah and Lily. Ache forever. But maybe, just maybe, he could learn to live with the pain instead of being destroyed by it. Swim, not sink. That evening, the men had a bonfire on the beach. Flames dance. They roasted hot dogs and marshmallows. Yummy smoke. They told more stories. Voices circle. They sang songs. Notes rise. Hank had brought a guitar, strings strum, and he played old rock songs. Fun beat. Everyone sang along, even Emmett, voice shy join. For a moment, just a moment, Emmett felt something he thought he would never feel again. Spark joy. He felt joy. It was small, tiny flame. It was mixed with sadness, tear mix. But it was real. True. Warm. He looked around at these men, faces fire glow. These brothers who had saved his life, heroes real. These strangers who became his family, love new. And he felt grateful. Actually grateful to be alive. Heart thank. From Oregon, they rode down into California. Coast curve. They saw the giant redwood trees that were thousands of years old. Tall, ancient. Emmett felt so small standing next to them. Tiny dot. But in a good way. Humble nice. Like his problems were not the only thing in the universe. World big. Like there was something bigger. Something older. Something that would keep going long after he was gone. Eternal stand. They rode down the California coast. Wind, ocean. The views were incredible. Wow eyes. Ocean on one side, blue crash. Mountains on the other, green rise. Little towns full of art and music and happy people, colors sing. In a town called San Luis Obispo, they stopped at a homeless shelter to help serve food, spoons ready. This was something the group did on every long ride. Give back. They believed in giving back. Hearts open. Emmett served soup to homeless people. Steam warm. Old men. Young women. Families with children. Little hands. Each person had a story. Eyes tell. Each person had pain. Hurt. Hide. Each person was fighting to survive. Brave steps. One old man with white hair and no teeth looked at Emmett and said, "Thank you, brother. God bless you." Smile gap. Something broke open in Emmett's heart. Crack light. He realized that he was not the only person suffering. Others, too. The whole world was full of pain. Full of loss. Full of people just trying to make it through another day. Hold on. But the world was also full of kindness. Full of people who helped each other. Hands out. Full of second chances. Try again. That night, Emmett told Cole, voice steady, "I think I understand now why you do this, why you ride, why you help people. It's not just about running away from pain. Escape, no. It's about riding toward something, toward meaning, toward purpose, toward love." Eyes shine. Cole smiled big, teeth flash. "Now you're getting it, brother. Now you're really getting it." Proud beam. They rode into the desert, Arizona and New Mexico. The heat was intense. Hot. Over 100 degrees. Sunbake. The sun beat down like a hammer. Thump sweat. But there was beauty in the desert too. Strange and harsh, but beautiful, tough, pretty. They saw cacti as tall as houses, spiky giants, They saw sunsets that turned the whole sky purple and gold and pink. Paint wow. They saw stars at night so bright and so many that Emmett felt like he was looking into forever, twinkles endless. In Arizona, they stopped at the Grand Canyon, edge vast. Emmett stood at the edge and looked down into the massive hole in the earth. Deep, deep. It was so big, so old, millions of years old. Created by water slowly, patiently carving through rock. Drip carve. That's what healing is like, Raymond said, standing next to him, voice-wise. Slow, patient, bit by bit, day by day. You can't rush it. But if you keep going, keep trying, eventually something beautiful gets created. Something bigger than you imagined. Hope carve. Emmett nodded, head yes. He was starting to understand. Healing was not about forgetting Sarah and Lily. No erase. It was not about moving on like they never existed. Gone, no. It was about carrying them with him. Love pack. Letting their love be part of him forever. Always there. But also opening his heart to new love, new experiences, new reasons to live. Doors open. They rode into Texas. Everything in Texas was big. Big sky, wide blue, big land, stretch far, big hearts, warm huge. They stopped at a small ranch owned by Deacon's cousin, Animals Hello. They stayed there for 3 days to rest, feed up. Emmett helped feed the horses. Hay crunch. He helped fix a fence. Hammer bang. He helped cook meals. Stir pot. Simple work. Physical work. It felt good to be useful again. Hands help. To build something. To take care of something. Care grow. On the last night at the ranch, they all sat around a fire, crackle warm. Cole looked at Emmett and said, eyes soft. So, brother, we've been on the road for almost 5 weeks now, miles many. We'll be home in a few days. How are you feeling? Question deep. Emmett thought about it, really thought about it. How was he feeling? Heart check. I'm still sad, he said honestly. Truth plain. I still miss them every single day, every hour, sometimes every minute. I don't think that will ever change. Ache stay. The men nodded. They understood. Heads yes. But, Emmett continued, voice lift. I don't want to die anymore. I want to live. Not just exist. Really live. I want to honor Sarah and Lily by being the man they loved. The man they would be proud of. I want to help people like you guys helped me. I want to ride. I want to see things. I want to feel things. I want to be alive. Words strong. The men cheered. Yells happy. Some cried. Tears joy. Cole stood up and hugged Emmett so hard he lifted him off the ground, squeeze big. You did it, brother, Cole said. Voice boom. You chose life. You chose to keep going. Sarah and Lily are proud of you. I know they are. Sure love. That night, Emmett looked up at the stars, sky blanket. He talked to Sarah and Lily. In his mind, whisper, think. I'm going to be okay, he told them, promise soft. I'm not okay yet, but I will be. These men saved me. The road saved me. You saved me. By loving me so much that I can't waste the life you would want me to have. I love you. I'll always love you. But I'm going to keep living. For you, for me, for everyone who needs help like I needed help. Heart full. A shooting star streaked across the sky, zip light. Emmett smiled, lips up. Maybe it was just a coincidence. Or maybe it was Sarah and Lily telling him they heard. Telling him they agreed. Telling him to go and live. Yes, go. The last few days of the ride felt different to Emmett, like a big happy change inside. The world looked brighter. Colors popped vivid like paint. Colors looked more vivid, shiny, and bold. Food tasted better. yummy on tongue. Music sounded sweeter, notes hug ears. It was like someone had turned up the volume on life, loud and fun. They rode through Oklahoma and Kansas. Wheels spin, flat land, smooth and wide, endless fields of wheat and corn, golden waves. The roads were straight and long, line forever. The sky was enormous, big blue hug. Emmett rode beside Hank for most of these days. Bikes close. They talked about everything. Words flow easy. About war, booms scary. About loss, hearts hurt. About motorcycles, engines sing. About life, ups, downs. About second chances, try again. Smile. You know what the best part of this is? Hank said one afternoon as they cruised down an empty highway, wind whisper, watching you come back to life, glow grow. When we first met you in that garage, you were already dead, eyes empty. You were a ghost, pale sad. But now you're a man again, strong, tall. You have light in your eyes, sparkle hope. You have hope in your heart, warm beat. That's the magic of the brotherhood. Brother, we lift each other up. Voice proud lift. Emmett felt tears again, wet, warm, but they were good tears. Joy drip, happy tears, smile mix, grateful tears, thank you. I can never repay you guys, Emmett said, voice choke love. You don't repay it, Hank replied, shakehead kind. You pay it forward, help next. You save the next guy, hand out. That's how this works. Chain strong. Cole saved me, hug tight. I saved Pete, pull up. Pete saved Luis, light share. Now you'll save someone else, turn come. The chain keeps going, link love. Love keeps spreading, grow big. Emmett understood, nod deep. He already knew what he was going to do when he got home. Plan, sparkle. He was going to join this group of riders. Family, yes. He was going to help them rescue other broken men, save hearts. He was going to be part of the brotherhood that saved lives. Hero join. In Kansas, they stopped at a small church that was having a community dinner. Smells yummy. The pastor invited them in, smile wide, even though they looked rough with their leather and tattoos, tough but kind. Inside, families were eating together, laughs share. Kids were running around laughing, giggles bounce. Old people were talking and smiling, eyes crinkle. It was warm and welcoming, cozy hug. Emmett sat next to a young woman named Claire, chair close. She was about 30 years old with kind brown eyes, soft sparkle. She was a teacher at the local school, chalk hands. Are you part of the motorcycle group? She asked, voice curious nice. I am, Emmett said, smile small. That's wonderful. Wow, yes. My father was a rider. Wind love. He died 2 years ago. Cancer. Fight long. But he loved riding. Happy roar. He always said the road was where he felt closest to God. Emmett smiled, lips up. I think I understand that now. Feel same. There's something spiritual about riding. Soul touch. About being so small under such a big sky. Tiny dot. About feeling the wind and the sun. Kiss warm. About moving forward mile after mile, step go. It changes you. Heart open. Claire smiled, teeth bright. My father would have liked you. Nod sure. They talked for an hour. Time fly. About teaching. Kids learn. About riding. Freedom hum. About loss. Ache share. About healing. Men slow. It felt natural and easy. Flow nice. Emmett realized he was having a normal conversation with a stranger. Words free. 6 weeks ago, he could not even open his door, hide. Dark. Now he was talking, and even smiling. Joy peak. When it was time to leave, wave bye. Claire said, if you're ever back this way, stop by. I'd love to hear more about your journey. Invite warm. I will, Emmett said. Mean true. And he meant it. Promise heart. As they rode away, engines vroom. Cole pulled up next to Emmett and yelled over the engine noise. Loud fun. She liked you. T's grin. Emmett laughed. Ha, free. It wasn't like that. We were just talking, shakehead. Still, Cole yelled back, eyes wink. You were talking. You were connecting. Hearts touch. You were living. Alive, yes. That's beautiful, brother. Proud beam. Emmett thought about it, mind wonder. Maybe one day he could open his heart to someone new. Door crack. Not to replace Sarah, no one could ever replace her. Special, forever. But to add new love to his life, grow more. To let his heart grow instead of shrink, big, expand. Sarah would want that, smile yes. Lily would want that, giggle approve. They rode through Nebraska and South Dakota. Paths curve. They saw Mount Rushmore, the giant faces of presidents carved into a mountain, stone big. They saw the Badlands' strange rock formations that looked like another planet, weird wow. They saw herds of buffalo running across grasslands. Thump run. America was so big, vast, huge, so diverse, many kinds, so beautiful, pretty shine. Emmett had lived his whole life in one small town, cozy same. He never knew what he was missing. Eyes closed. But now, his eyes were open, see clear. His heart was open, feel full. The world was full of wonder, magic, everywhere. One evening in South Dakota, they camped under the stars. Twinkle blanket, no motel, no buildings, just tents and sleeping bags, and a fire, crackle, warm. Pete, the quiet veteran, sat next to Emmett, side close. They had not talked much during the trip, words few. Pete did not talk much to anyone, shy deep. But tonight, he had something to say, voice ready. I have nightmares every night, Pete said quietly, whisper soft. From the war, scary dark. I see my friends dying. Pain loop. Over and over. Again. Again. I wake up screaming, loud fear. It's been 15 years and it still happens, shiver tell. Emmett listened. Ears care. But you know what helps? Pete continued. Eyes fire. Riding. Wind chase. When I'm on my bike, the nightmares can't catch me. Too slow. I'm too fast. Zoom go. I'm moving forward. Ahead, yes. The past can't hold me. Grip loose. And these guys, he pointed to the other men around the fire. Arm sweep. They don't judge me. No mean. They don't think I'm crazy. Understand, yes. They just ride with me. Side by. They sit with me when I wake up screaming. Hug calm. They're my family. Love bond. They're my family too now, Emmett said, voice warm. I didn't know I needed a new family, surprise need, but I do. I needed brothers, strong arms. I needed people who understand. Heart nod. Pete nodded, head yes. We all need that. Everyone, yes. No one can do life alone. Solo, no. We weren't made to be alone. Together best. We were made to be together. To help each other, hands out. To carry each other when we're too weak to walk, wisdom hug. They sat in silence for a while, quiet peace, watching the fire, flames dance. Then Pete said something that Emmett would never forget. Words stick. Your wife and daughter? They're not gone here, yes. They're riding with you, back seat. On the back of your bike? Windshare. Every mile. They see what you see. Eyes same. They feel what you feel. Heart beat. They're proud of you for not giving up. Cheer loud. For choosing life. Yes. Live. They're with you, brother. Always. Promise eternal. Emmett cried again. Tears flow. But these tears felt like healing, men soft. Like his heart was a wound that was slowly, finally starting to close. Scar form. The scar would always be there, mark love. But the bleeding was stopping. Hurt ease. That night, Emmett dreamed of Sarah and Lily, sleep visit. But this dream was different from all the others. Special glow. In this dream, they were standing on a beautiful road that stretched into golden light, a path shine. They were smiling, teeth happy. They looked peaceful and happy, calm, joy. Sarah spoke to him, voice gentle. "We're so proud of you, Emmett," heart burst. "You chose to keep going, brave step. You chose to live." Love beam. Lily hugged him tight, arm squeeze. "Daddy, we're always with you, forever near. Every sunrise you see, that's us saying good morning, hello, light. Every sunset, that's us saying good night, sweet dreams. Every time the wind touches your face on your motorcycle, that's us, giving you a kiss, smooch soft. We never left you. We never will. Giggle, promise." "I miss you so much," Emmett said in the dream, voice ache. "I don't know how to live without you." Sad wonder. "You're already doing it," Sarah said gently, hand touch. "Look at you. You're writing. Vroom free. You're healing. Mend grow. You're helping others, kind hand. You're becoming stronger. Power, yes. We don't want you to forget us. Remember love. But we don't want you to stop living either. Go on. Live, Emmett. Live big. Live loud. Live with your whole heart. That's the greatest gift you can give us. Words. Gift." Emmett woke up with tears on his face, wet cheeks. But for the first time, they were tears of peace, calm wash. He felt like Sarah and Lily had really visited him, real hug. Like they had given him permission to be happy again. Yes, joy. To move forward, step go. To live, alive, full. He got up and walked away from the tents, steps quiet. The sun was just starting to rise, yawn light. Pink and orange light spread across the sky. Paint, pretty. The air was cool and fresh. Breathe deep. Everything was quiet except for birds starting to sing, tweet hello. Cole appeared beside him, friend near, holding 2 cups of coffee, steam warm. He handed one to Emmett, give kind. "Couldn't sleep?" Cole asked, voice soft. "No, I slept great actually," Emmett said. Smile small. "I had a dream about Sarah and Lily. They told me it's okay to live, to be happy, to keep going, share joy." Cole smiled, eyes crinkle. "Dreams like that are special. Magic, yes. Maybe it was just your brain. Think deep. Or maybe it was really them. Visit true. Either way, the message is true. It is okay to live. It's more than okay. It's what you're supposed to do." Nod sure. They stood together in silence. Quiet, nice. Drinking coffee and watching the sun come up, glow rise. After a few minutes, the other men started waking up. Yawn, stretch. One by one, they joined Emmett and Cole. Circle grow. All of them standing together. Brothers unite. Watching the new day begin. Hope dawn. "Brothers," Cole said, raising his coffee cup. Toast high. To Emmett, who came back from the dead, alive again. Who chose life, yes, strong. who reminds us all why we ride. Proud words. To Emmett! The men shouted together. Voices boom, raising their cups, clink love. Emmett felt a warmth spread through his chest, cozy full. These men loved him. Hearts big. These men saved him. Heroes real. These men showed him that even when you lose everything, dark all, you can still find something worth living for. Light, yes. They rode into Wyoming, paths wild. Yellowstone National Park, Wonderland. Geysers shooting hot water into the air. Splash high. Hot springs that glowed blue and green and orange. Colors magic. Bears and elk and wolves. Animals free. Nature in all its wild glory, beauty roar. Emmett felt small again. Tiny dot. But in a good way. Humble. Nice. The world was so much bigger than his pain. Vast more. So much older than his problems. Ancient strong. Life went on. Cycle turn. Seasons changed. Colors shift. Animals were born and died. Life, death. The earth kept spinning. Round, go. And somehow, that was comforting. Peace, hug. His tragedy was real and terrible. Hurt deep. But the universe was vast and full of other stories. Many tales. Other struggles. Fights. Share. Other miracles. Wonder, yes. In Yellowstone, they met a young couple on their honeymoon. Love new. The man's name was David. Smile bright. The woman's name was Emma. Eyes sparkle. They were both 25 years old, full of energy and hope. Bounce happy. Emma saw the patches on the men's jackets and asked what they meant. Curious point. Cole explained that they were a brotherhood of men who had all lost someone, ache bond, who had all been saved by the road, wind heel. That's beautiful, Emma said with tears in her eyes. Wet care. My brother died last year. Suicide. Dark end. He was in so much pain. Hurt big. I wish he had found people like you, friend save. Maybe he'd still be alive. Sad wish. Emmett's heart broke for her. Crack empathy. He knew exactly what her brother had felt. Same, dark. He had been there himself, in that dark garage with a gun in his hand. Cold, despair. I'm so sorry, Emmett said, voice gentle. I almost did the same thing. Edge close. These men saved me. Pull back. If your brother had just held on a little longer, wait hope, maybe someone would have saved him too. Light come. Sometimes we give up right before the miracle comes. Almost there. Wisdom soft. Emma hugged Emmett tight, arms warm. Thank you for not giving up. Brave, yes. Thank you for staying alive. Life gift. You're going to help so many people. I can feel it. Believe strong. That conversation changed something in Emmett. Shift deep. He realized his story had power, words strong. His pain had purpose, meaning yes. By surviving, live on. By choosing life, yes, choose. He could show others that it's possible, can do. That there's hope, light shine. That the darkness doesn't last forever. And come. When we get home, Emmett told Cole that night, voice sure, I want to start speaking, share out. At schools, at churches, at support groups. I want to tell my story, truth, open. I want to help people who are where I was. Dark spot. I want to be the person I needed when Sarah and Lily died. Mission born. Cole's eyes got wet with tears, glisten proud. Brother, that's exactly what this world needs. Yes, more. More people brave enough to share their scars, open wound. More people turning pain into purpose, good grow. You're gonna save lives, Emmett, just like we saved yours. Cheer heart. They rode through Montana, home near. They were almost home now, circle close. After 5 weeks and over 10,000 miles, journey long, the journey was ending, bye trip. But Emmett knew it was also a beginning. Start new. The mountains of Montana looked different now. Pretty change. More beautiful. Shine love. More welcoming. Home hug. This was his home. Roots deep. This was where Sarah and Lily lived and laughed and loved. Memories dance. This was where their memories lived. Forever here. And now, this was where Emmett would live too. Yes, stay. Really live. Full. Alive. On the last night before they reached Emmett's town, sleep close, they stopped at a small motel. Familiar stop. The same motel where they had stopped on the first night. Circle full. Everything had come full circle. Round, complete. The men sat outside again in plastic chairs. Creek sit. They drank beer and told stories. Clink laugh. But tonight was different. Special glow. Tonight was a celebration. Party joy. Speech! Speech! Hank yelled. Point fun! Pointing at Emmett. Emmett stood up, legs strong. His legs felt strong. Power, yes. His heart felt full. Burst love. He looked at each man's face, these brothers who had become his family. Eyes meet. 5 weeks ago, Emmett began. Voice steady. I was ready to die. End dark. I had the gun in my hand. Cold shake. I had said my goodbyes. Sad words. I was done. Over no. But you guys showed up. Heroes roar. You didn't know me, strangers kind. You didn't owe me anything, no debt. But you came anyway, save yes. You saved my life, thank deep. The men were quiet, listen care. This road trip taught me so many things, Emmett continued. Words flow. It taught me that healing is possible, even when it seems impossible. Mend yes. It taught me that brotherhood is real, bond true. It taught me that the world is still beautiful, even after tragedy. Pretty stay. It taught me that pain can become purpose, good turn. That suffering can become service, help out. That the darkest night can lead to the brightest dawn, hope rise. Emmett's voice cracked with emotion, choke feel. I will never stop missing Sarah and Lily. Ache always. They were my everything, world full. But now I understand that their love didn't die with them, live on. It lives in me. Heart carry. It pushes me forward. Go strong. It gives me strength. Power, yes. They would want me to be here, right now, alive and grateful and ready to help others. Proud love. Tears ran down Emmett's face, stream wet. So thank you. Thank you for the road, path heal. Thank you for the brotherhood. Family, yes. Thank you for showing me that life is still worth living. Gift big. I love you guys. You're my brothers. Forever. Forever bond. Every man stood up. Rise, hug. They group hugged Emmett, all of them crying and laughing at the same time. Mixed joy. It was a moment of pure love. Heart pure. Pure connection. Link tight. Pure humanity. People best. Cole wiped his eyes and said, sniff smile. The road saved you, Emmett. Wind, yes. But you saved yourself too, brave Choose. You said yes. You got on that bike, ride on. You kept riding even when it was hard. Tough go. You opened your heart, door wide. You chose to heal, mend self. We just walked beside you, side support. The real hero is you. Proud point. The next morning, they rode into Emmett's town, home welcome. It was early, around 7 a.m., sun hello. The streets were quiet, sleep soft. Everything looked the same, the hardware store, tools wait, the church, pray tall, the diner, food smell, the houses, cozy row. But everything was different. Change bright. Because Emmett was different. new man. They pulled up in front of Emmett's house. Stop park. Frank was standing in the front yard, waiting. Eyes hope. His eyes were red, cry wet. He had been crying, tears care. Emmett got off his motorcycle and walked to Frank, step sure. The old man looked at him with wonder. Awe shine. You're alive, Frank whispered, voice shake. You're really alive, joy burst. I'm alive, Emmett said, smile big. Thanks to you. You called these men phone save. You saved me, Frank. You didn't give up on me. Never quit. Frank hugged Emmett so tight, squeeze love. I couldn't let you go, hold on. Your son saved my son in the war. Brave act. I owed you everything, dead heart. But more than that, I love you, brother. Your family to me. Bond deep. Your family to me too, Emmett said, hug back. The men all said their goodbyes. Wave, sad, happy. There were hugs and handshakes and promises to ride again soon. See more. Cole gave Emmett a leather vest with a group's patch on it, a symbol that he was now officially part of the brotherhood. Badge, yes. You're one of us now, Cole said, grin wide. Forever. We ride together. We heal together. We save lives together. Unite, strong. I won't let you down, Emmett promised. Vow true. You already made us proud, Cole replied. I shine. The motorcycles roared to life one last time. Vroom loud. The men waved, hands high. Then they rode off down the street. The sound of their engines fading into the distance by echo. Emmett stood in his driveway, vest proud, watching them go, heart full. Frank stood beside him, friend near. What now? Frank asked, curious soft. Emmett looked at his house, eyes see. He thought about the gun in the garage, cold past. The letters he had written, words dark. The darkness he had lived in for 6 months, shadow long. Now, Emmett said, voice strong, I clean out the garage. I throw away that gun. I rip up those letters. I open all the curtains and let light into the house. I start living again. New begin. Need help? Frank asked. Yeah, Emmett said with a small smile. Lips up. I'd like that. Yes, please. Over the next few weeks, Emmett transformed his life. Change big. He cleaned his house from top to bottom. Scrub shine. He mowed the lawn. Grass neat. He fixed the mailbox. Stand tall. He painted the front door, not red this time, but blue. Fresh color. A new color for a new life. Bright start. He went back to work at the hardware store. Tools home. His boss welcomed him with open arms. Hug yes. The customers were kind and supportive. Smiles share. Some knew about his loss. Sad nod. Some didn't, happy chat. But everyone could see that Emmett was different. Glow knew. He smiled more. Teeth show. He talked more. Words free. He was present. Here now. He started going to a grief support group at the church. Circle Care. He shared his story. Truth out. He listened to others' stories. Ears open. He cried with strangers who became friends. Tears bond. He learned that grief is something you carry forever. Wait. Love. But it doesn't have to crush you. No break. You can carry it with grace. With dignity. With hope. Light hold. Most importantly, Emmett kept riding. Wind call. Every weekend, he would get on his motorcycle and ride. Vroom go. Sometimes alone, solo think. Sometimes with Frank, buddy near. Sometimes with the brotherhood when they came through town. Pack, roar. Riding became his meditation. Calm, deep. His therapy. Heal ride. His church. Pray wind. On the road, he felt close to Sarah and Lily, near love. He felt connected to something bigger, vast. Yes, he felt alive, beat, strong. 3 months after the big trip, Emmett did his first speaking event, Voice Share. It was at the high school where Lily had been a student. Memories sweet. The counselor asked him to talk to students about depression and suicide prevention, help young. Emmett was nervous, tummy flutter. His hands shook as he stood in front of 100 teenagers, shake stage. But then, he remembered what Cole had told him. Your story has power. Your scars can heal others. Truth, strong. He told them everything, all open. About losing Sarah and Lily, crash hurt. About the depression, dark fog. About the gun in the garage, edge cold. About the brotherhood showing up just in time, save roar. About the road that saved his life, path heal. The students were silent, listened deep. Some cried, tears wet. When he finished, they gave him a standing ovation. Clap loud. Afterward, a young girl came up to him, stepped shy. She was about 16 Lily's age. Same giggle. She had tears streaming down her face, drip sad. Thank you, she said quietly, voice small. I've been thinking about killing myself. Dark think. But your story, it gave me hope. Light, yes. If you can survive losing your wife and daughter, strong you, maybe I can survive my problems too, hope spark. Emmett hugged her, arms gentle. Please don't give up. Hold on. Please talk to someone. Words help. Call the suicide hotline. Talk to the counselor. Talk to your parents. There's help. There's hope. The darkness doesn't last forever. I promise. Vow, true. The girl nodded, head yes. I'll try. I'll really try. Promise back. That night, Emmett called Cole and told him about the girl. Share joy. Cole was so proud, heart burst. See? You're already saving lives. This is just the beginning, brother. More come. 6 months after the trip, Emmett met someone, new friend. Her name was Helen, kind eyes. She was 50 years old, a widow who had lost her husband to a heart attack 3 years earlier. Ache share. They met at the grief support group, Circle Bond. At first, they were just friends. Talk easy. They understood each other's pain, same hurt. They could talk about their lost spouses without feeling guilty or weird. Free words. They could cry together, tears mix. They could laugh together, giggles heal. Slowly, carefully, friendship turned into something more. Love grow. Emmett felt guilty at first. Tummy twist. Was he betraying Sarah? Was it too soon? Would Lily approve? Wonder. Sad. But he remembered what Sarah had said in his dream. Live, Emmett. Live big. Live loud. Live with your whole heart. Yes. Full. He talked to Cole about it. Share deep. Cole said, love isn't a betrayal. No bad. Love is a tribute. Honor, yes. You're not replacing Sarah. No swap. You're making room for new love while keeping her memory alive. Both hold. Your heart is big enough for both. Room plenty. Emmett and Helen took it slow, gentle steps. They went on walks. Hand maybe. They had coffee. Sip chat. They talked for hours. Time fly. She understood that he would always love Sarah and Lily, forever yes. He understood that she would always love her husband Tom, same true. Their past loves didn't compete. No fight. They coexisted side piece. They made them who they were, shaped good. On their third date, Helen said something that made Emmett's heart full. I think our late spouses would be happy we found each other. Smile yes. They loved us. And love wants us to be happy. Even if they can't be here to give us that happiness, they'd want someone else to wish joy. Emmett knew she was right, truth warm. Sarah would want him to be happy. Yes, please. Lily would want him to live fully. Big life. This was not betrayal. No wrong. This was healing, mend soft. This was life saying yes again, hello new. 1 year after the big trip, the Brotherhood organized another cross-country ride, Adventure More. This time, Emmett helped plan it, ideas share. And this time, they brought 3 new men who were struggling. Men who had lost everything and were ready to give up. Dark Edge. Emmett rode beside a man named Thomas, bike close, who had lost his son in a car accident, crash sad. Thomas was quiet and broken, just like Emmett had been. Same ache. Does it get better? Thomas asked one day, as they rode through the desert. Sand hot. Yes, Emmett said honestly, truth plain. And no, the pain never completely goes away. Aches stay. You never stop missing them. Love, miss. But you learn to carry it, hold strong. You learn to live with it, instead of being destroyed by it. Swim, yes. You learn that grief and joy can exist at the same time. Mix, okay. You learn that life is still worth living, even after tragedy. Gift on. I don't know if I can do it, Thomas said, doubt heavy. You can, Emmett replied. Sure nod, I know you can, because I did it. And if I can do it, anyone can. You just have to keep riding, 1 mile at a time, 1 day at a time, 1 breath at a time. The road will heal you, the Brotherhood will carry you, and one day you'll wake up and realize you want to live, really live, hope pass. Thomas was quiet for a long time. Think deep. Then he said, "Thank you for giving me hope." Great soft. That's what we do, Emmett said, smile warm. We pass on the hope we were given. The chain keeps going. Love keeps spreading. Life keeps winning. Victory, yes. 2 years after that terrible night in the garage, Emmett stood at Sarah and Lily's graves. Flowers hand. He came every week with fresh flowers. Love bring. Today he brought sunflowers, Sarah's favorite, yellow bright. Hi, loves, he said softly. Kneel, gentle. I miss you. I'll always miss you. But I want you to know I'm okay. I'm actually more than okay. I'm happy. I'm living the life you'd want me to live. Proud share. He told them about his work speaking at schools and churches, voice help. He told them about the lives he had saved by sharing his story, Save Chain. He told them about Helen and how kind she was and how she made him laugh. Joy knew. He told them about the Brotherhood and the road and the healing. Family ride. I carry you with me everywhere, Emmett said. Touchstones. Every ride I take, you're on the back of my bike. Every sunrise I see, I think of you. Every time I help someone, I do it in your honor. You're not gone. You're just different. You live in my heart. You live in my actions. You live in the love I give to others. Eternal, yes. A warm breeze blew through the cemetery, soft kiss. The sun broke through the clouds, shining down on the graves, light hug. Emmett felt a sense of peace wash over him, calm, full. Thank you for loving me, he whispered, voice love. Thank you for making my life beautiful. Thank you for giving me permission to keep living. I love you, forever and always. Promise true. He stood up, kissed fingers, and touched each headstone. Gentle goodbye. Then he walked back to his motorcycle. Steps light, put on his helmet, and rode away. Vroom. Go. The road stretched out before him, long and endless and full of possibility. Adventure wait. The sun was warm, glow nice. The sky was blue. Vast hug. The engine rumbled beneath him like a heartbeat. Thump alive. Emmett smiled, real big. A real, genuine smile that reached his eyes, sparkled true. He was alive. Yes, live. He was healing. Mend, strong. He was helping others. Hand out. He was loving again. Heart open. He was living. Full. Yes. The road had saved his life. Path, yes. The brotherhood had saved his life. Brother's hug. But most of all, he had saved his own life by choosing to keep going. Brave choose. By saying yes to that first ride, start on. By opening his heart to healing. Door wide. He thought about all the men he had ridden with. Pack love. He thought about Thomas and the other broken souls they were helping. Heal new. He thought about the young girl at the school who decided not to give up. Hope give. He thought about all the lives that had been saved because he had been saved. Chain grow. This was his purpose now. Mission call. This was his mission, to take his pain and turn it into something beautiful, good, make. To take his tragedy and transform it into hope for others, light, share. To ride through the darkness and come out into the light, and then go back and bring others with him, save, pull. As Emmett rode down the highway, the wind in his face and the sun on his back, kiss warm, he heard Sarah's voice in his mind one more time. Live, Emmett. Live big. Live loud. Live with your whole heart. Echo love. I will, he said out loud, even though no one could hear him over the roar of the engine. Promise roar. I promise. I will. Yes. Do. And he did. Live full. Epilogue. 5 years later, Emmett's story had touched thousands of lives. Hearts warm. He had spoken at over 200 schools, churches, and community centers. Words help big. He had helped start 3 new chapters of the Brotherhood in different states. Groups grow. He had personally saved 17 men from suicide by reaching out at just the right moment. Hand save. He married Helen in a small ceremony with Frank and the Brotherhood in attendance. Love circle. It was simple and beautiful. Sweet, yes. They didn't try to recreate what they had before. No copy. They created something new, fresh, joy. Something that honored the past while embracing the future. Love, mix. Emmett still rode every week. Wind call. Sometimes alone. Think quiet. Sometimes with Helen on the back of his bike. She had learned to love riding too. Hug close. Sometimes with his brother's pack roar. The road remained his sanctuary. Safe place. His therapy. He'll ride. His church. Pray go. He kept a photo of Sarah and Lily on his motorcycle's dashboard. Faces smile. Every ride was dedicated to them. For love. Every mile was in their memory. Step on her. Every person he helped was a tribute to their love. Gift back. On the 5th anniversary of that terrible night in the garage, Daymark, Emmett rode back to his house, home return. He stood in the driveway where Cole and the Brotherhood had first appeared. Safe spot. Where his life had been saved, light come. Where everything changed, new begin. Frank walked over from next door, steps slow. He was 67 now, moving slower but still full of life. Spark yes. 5 years, Frank said, putting his arm around Emmett's shoulder, hug warm. Look how far you've come, proud eyes. Look how far we've all come. Emmett replied. Smile, share. Thank you for not giving up on me, Frank. Thank you for making that call. You saved my life. Great deep. We saved each other, Frank said. Not true. That's what people do. That's what love does. Bond strong. They stood there together, 2 old friends, side close, looking at the road. Path C. The same road that had once led to despair, now led to hope. Dark to light. The same road that had once seemed like the end was actually the beginning. Start, yes. A group of motorcycles appeared in the distance. Roar near. Cole and the Brotherhood were coming for their monthly ride. Friends come. The sound of engines grew louder. Vroom! 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 The sound that had once interrupted Emmett's darkest moment stopped bad. The sound that now meant life, brotherhood, and second chances. Joy. Vroom. Emmett smiled and walked toward his motorcycle, steps happy. He put on his helmet, safe on. He started the engine, rumble alive. The familiar rumble filled his chest with joy. Thump full. Helen came out of the house and kissed him goodbye, lips soft. Ride safe, she said. Care warm. Come back to me. Promise home. Always, he promised. Vow true. The Brotherhood pulled up. Stop, park. Cole took off his helmet and grinned, teeth big. Ready to ride, brother? Ask, excite. Always, Emmett said again. Yes, go. And they rode, vroom free. Down the street, through the town, out into the mountains, into the vast, beautiful, endless American landscape. Big wonder, mile after mile, sunrise after sunrise, story after story, tales share. The road kept going, endless path. The healing kept happening, mend on. The Brotherhood kept saving lives, help chain. Because sometimes when the world breaks you into a million pieces, shatter hurt, when the darkness seems too heavy, black crush, when giving up seems like the only option, sometimes all you need is someone to show up. Here, yes. Someone to offer you a ride. Come on. Someone to say, come with us. The road will heal you. Promise wind. And sometimes, that's exactly what saves your life. Light save. Emmett had learned the truth that night in the garage 5 years ago. The ride saved his life. Path, yes. But more than that, he saved his own life by saying, yes, choose go. By choosing to keep going, brave on. By believing that maybe, just maybe, there was still something worth living for. Hope small. And he was right. True, yes. There was gift big. There always is. Forever hope. You just have to keep riding. Go on. If this story touched your heart, warm feel, please like, subscribe, and comment where you're watching from. Hello, share. Share this story with someone who needs hope today. Pass light. Remember, no matter how dark it gets, black night, there's always a road forward. Path, yes. There's always a reason to keep going. Why? Live. There's always someone who cares. Love near. You are not alone. Together, yes. Keep riding. Vroom hope. National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, 988. You matter. Important, yes. Your story isn't over. More pages. The road is waiting for you. Come ride.